G'day and welcome to Queensland Weekender. Great to have your company. Well, the Sunshine Coast hinterland is bursting at the seams with places to explore, and Montville is no exception. Not only do you get to take in the natural beauty that surrounds you, there's also time for a spot of shopping, but more of that a little later. For now, let's see what the rest of the team's up to. Liz road tests the latest craze to hit the Gold Coast.
You forget you're even working out.
Chris enjoys the fragrance of an Asian cooking class.
Oh man, you getting that? Smell that? Ooh.
We meet a charming gent with a passion for locomotives.
I call myself a train nut. I build model trains.
And a 2-for-1 deal to the Outback.
They call it the tree of knowledge. You feeling any smarter?
Up first, here's Liz.
As most of you would know, I'm no stranger to the water, but adding a bike into the mix, well, that's a bit unusual.
Seaway Water Bike Tours does exactly that with the world's most advanced water bike. They run tours on the Gold Coast Broadwater. Andreas is guiding us today.
The technology in these bikes is pretty incredible and, most importantly, environmentally friendly way of getting people around.
They were designed like a catamaran. So as you can see, the bike is suspended in the middle of 2 pontoons, and the stability is really high stability. The buoyancy of the pontoons is also really high.
So what's the schedule for today?
So we are heading to the eastern side of Wavebreak Island, where we're gonna get to the snorkeling spot. It's Wavebreak Island Reef, really famous spot for snorkeling.
Oh my gosh, this view is incredible. Would you look at that? There's city and nature right in front of you.
Yeah, it is my favorite one.
The trip to Wavebreak Island is roughly 40 minutes, but the speed in which you go is totally up to you.
You don't need to be fit. It is a watercraft that can be used as a recreational watercraft, and also can be used for workout purposes.
How fast can they go?
So they can go up to 8 knots.
8 knots?
So that's really fast, yeah.
Let's give it a go.
Liz, did you see the manta ray?
Yeah, they were incredible.
Yeah.
I love that you can look directly down, and when the water clarity is like this.
Yeah, they were swimming just next to the bikes for 1 minute.
It's like they're really inquisitive of these bikes.
Yeah, probably because there is no noise.
Of course.
Wavebreak Island protects the western foreshore of the Broadwater and offers some of the best snorkelling on the Gold Coast. Here, the adventure moves from above the water to below. Although these tours have only been running a few short months, they are proving popular with visitors to the region, but also with more familiar faces.
Whereabouts are you from?
We're locals, Gold Coast locals, and yeah.
I love hearing about locals that do tours in their backyard and make the most of this place. It's awesome.
Well, you couldn't resist the scenery, you can't resist the environment. It's fantastic. It's 10 out of 10.
Seaway Water Bike Tours offer a bunch of different guided excursions. They also allow you to hire the water bikes out for yourself so you can design your own adventure around the Gold Coast waterways. Stay with us. Coming up after the break, Chris is learning a few new tricks in the kitchen.
I just love being invited to dinner and being told not to bring a thing. Got a very good feeling about tonight. But the catch is, my fellow diners and I actually have to make dinner before we can eat it. I'm at the Spirit House in Yandina on the Sunshine Coast. The restaurant has a well-earned reputation for its delicious contemporary Asian food. And the cooking class has an amazing reputation as well, and that's because you get these incredible hints and tips from chefs that are at the top of their game. So hopefully at the end of this, I'll be able to bang out the perfect stir fry, a really well-balanced curry, or some pretty amazing dinner party dishes. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it, guys? At the very least, a full belly and a smile on my face, so there's no downside. There is no downside. The class is called Fresh Harvest, with a focus on Asian-inspired garden produce. And as the saying goes, many hands make light work.
So we're actually doing 3 vegetarian dishes, but with meat side dishes, all right?
Kelly Lord was the head chef here at Spirit House, but has relinquished that role in favour of teaching. So how's this? I've only been here 5 minutes, already got like a brilliant tip, which is if you want to grate your ginger, use your spoon. Everyone uses a knife. And you lose so much ginger. Look at that. Use a spoon. Wasn't that gold? Did you know how to do that? No. All the dishes made in tonight's class are accompanied by delicious dressings, made from scratch, of course.
So the most important thing, we need to do a little taste. Good?
That's nice. Maybe a little bit more lime juice.
Give more lime? Yeah, a little squeeze more.
I don't know. I just want to say something. Tonight's menu: Szechuan eggplant with tofu, roast beetroot and sweet potato salad, red lentil curry, miso glazed salmon, spiced lemon ginger chicken and tandoori prawns. Feeling hungry?
Quite often people read cookbooks and they get the gist of it, but when you actually see the ingredients and how to use them properly and all the little tips and tricks that we try and give you, that's when it sort of, like you said, the light bulb sort of moment. People come on and go, and they understand why a recipe's asking you to do that sort of thing. Or,
I've had about 4 light bulb moments so far.
Oh, that's good. Well, when you're doing stir fries, biggest mistake is trying to fit everything in the wok at the same time and end up stewing it. You've got to do things in nice little small batches. Not being ready. So when you're doing stir fries, you got to have everything ready, all ready to go, everything chopped. You can't go to the refrigerator and grab something out of the fridge.
There's fire, there's meat. The end. Yep, these Spirit House cooking classes are tough work. Oh,
How with that?
that smells amazing. Something you're passionate about, you're teaching people, you know, something you love, that's got to be quite cool.
Yeah, it is very cool, and that's why I love to do it. That's why I wouldn't do anything else now.
And despite having learnt things about Asian cooking that I will forever know and use, I'd be lying if I didn't say that the best thing about doing a cooking class here is what's waiting for us at the end. And we made it all ourselves. Oh, that potato's outstanding. You know, people have been talking about the Spirit House cooking class experience to me for years. Chris, you got to do it, you got to do it. Now that I'm finally here, I know why they keep talking about it. It's absolutely amazing. How good does all this look? And I'm so proud of you all. Didn't we all do well? The Spirit House cooking class runs lunch and dinner cooking classes all year round. You'll find all the information regarding upcoming classes on their website. Enjoy.
Dust off your RMs and make your way to the Birdsville races in the heart of Australia's outback. Be there as the gates swing open at the biggest outback horse racing event for 2017. The Birdsville races will play host to over 6,000 racegoers, with plenty of fun to keep everyone entertained, both on and off the track. Held over the 1st and 2nd of September, you can pick up a 2-day racing pass for just over $60. The Ekka brings the country to Brisbane this August with a jam-packed lineup of entertainment, food and activities. Celebrating its 140th show this year, the Ekka presents Queensland's rural best, from woodcutting to sheepdog trials. Head along to the family favourite Farmyard Friends, where you can pat a pig and cuddle a calf. And don't forget to pick up your strawberry sundae. Out-of-towners can bag a bargain thanks to Queensland Rail, with 50% off tilt train fares on travel to this year's show. Catch all the action and excitement of the Ekka from the 11th to the 20th of August. Now something for the kids. Want to get them outdoors, having fun and support their schooling at the same time? The CUA School Fun Run is a fantastic campaign that brings students and communities together to raise much needed funds for our schools. And right now, events are happening across Queensland at a school near you. Last year, the scheme raised more than $3.6 million for the schools involved. That's impressive. So if you want your kids to be part of a happy, healthy generation and give their education a positive boost, then sprint to the CUA School Fun Run website to find out more, including how to get your school involved. Coming up after the break, we'll introduce you to Neil, 90 years young with a passion for building miniature trains. Plus how to travel west for less with a 2-for-1 deal to the Outback.
G'day, how you going?
My name is Neil Mackenzie. I call myself a train nut. My daughter asks, what's a train nut? What profession's that?
Neil is 90 years old and fell in love with trains when he was a boy. And since the mid-1980s, he's been building incredible miniature locomotives. And each one can take up to 5 years to complete.
There's a lot of dedication, a lot of effort, but I wasn't worrying the wife. I was out of her hair, I was down here chopping up metal, and she was satisfied with what was going on. You doing the right thing there, Don? You know, you can stuff around for days doing this and making that, and playing around doing this. But you get to the final stage, you put water in the thing, boil the water, pull the regulator, and the bloody thing moves. There you get the kick, your reward for all your efforts. There's no pay in that, it's inside.
35 years ago, Neil built a railway track around his suburban home. It's impressive, but nothing compared to the track he helped build for the Bracken Ridge Central Lions Club.
There was a lot of work in creating the track down there. I'd thrown my heart into the project, then to find out that they named the track after me, the Mackenzie line. Hey, come off it. I didn't do all this. No, you don't create something on your own. You've got to have somebody beside you.
The public can ride Neil's locomotives at McPherson Park in Bracken Ridge. The club holds train days on the 4th Sunday of every month. It costs just $2 to ride. For Neil, seeing kids enjoying his trains always makes his day.
Particularly when you find a little young fella being taken from a wheelchair and put onto the wagons. It's a great sensation and a great thing. You're helping someone who doesn't have the opportunities that I've got.
Thanks to his love of steam trains and service to his community, Neil was recently awarded a Medal of the Order of Australia.
It's magic. Actually, as I'm getting older, the steam is getting a little bit less. So I'm not working as hard, not working as dedicated, but this has certainly given me a new lease of life. But it's crazy. I didn't set out to get that award. I set out to build a loco. My dedication won me trophies, but then to get an award like this, come off it. Do I deserve this?
I reckon he does. To learn more about the train days, check out the Facebook page.
Have you got a bucket list of things to see in Queensland's outback?
Maybe it's catching the show at the Stockman's Hall of Fame in Longreach.
How about exploring a jumbo jet at the Qantas Founders Museum?
Or following in the footsteps of dinosaurs at Winton.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Now's your chance to go west for less on board a classic train with Queensland Rail Travel. Queensland Rail Travel's 2-for-1 summer fare on Western services is perfect for a couple of country lads keen to see more of their home state. We'll tell you all about the deal later, but no matter what's on your Outback to-do list, getting there is a big part of the adventure.
The Spirit of the Outback is one of the great rail journeys of Australia. She travels return between Brisbane and Longreach twice a week.
A first-class sleeper is the golden ticket to your own private cabin. It's fit with all the comforts, even your own sink. All meals are included too, and is served white tablecloth style in the Tucker Box restaurant. Mate, I had a great sleep last night. I was out to it. Woke up at a couple of stations, but I rocked back to sleep. Woke up and you were snoring your head off.
For a more modest budget, economy is the way to go, offering roomy seats, plenty of legroom, and the view is still the same.
It's a 24-hour trip that chews up more than 1,300 kilometres of Queensland, including some of the best scenery west of the Great Divide. And classic outback towns like good old Barkey. This way.
G'day.
G'day, how you going?
Barcaldin's known as the birthplace of trade unions in Australia. Striking shearers met here 120 years ago under the shade of an old ghost gum. Whoa. That is impressive.
Bloody A.
Originally, this tree was alive, but in 2006 it was tragically poisoned. So what's left here today is just a memorial.
I heard at night it shines bright green as if the tree is still alive.
That's impressive.
Barkie's the last stop before Longreach, the big smoke of the bush. This easygoing country town is the Outback's unofficial capital and a great base for a whole swag of adventures.
And to get you to and from, jump on Queensland Rail Travel's 2-for-1 deal. Buy one fare, get one free. Off all Western train services for travel between November and March. That's the spirit of the Outback, the Inlander and the Westlander. You gotta love a good deal.
Well, you can take the girl out of the city, but you can't take the city out of the girl. Can I have that one, please? Thank you. Catch you after the break. $20? I'm going to wear it now. There's nothing like an escape to the Sunshine Coast hinterland to really switch off and recharge the batteries. But I have to admit, I can always muster enough energy for a little bit of retail therapy. There's no shortage of character-filled boutiques along the main street of Montville, about an hour and a half north of Brisbane. A Montville must-see is the Clock Shop, owned by Phil and Fran Hoffman. So looking around, clocks are clearly close to your heart. When did this love affair begin?
Oh, about 1992. My father-in-law purchased me a cuckoo clock, a Black Forest cuckoo clock, and from there I got a more interest in clocks, and one thing led to another. We're here 24 years later and still loving it.
As years tick by, the shop continues to grow.
We travel each year to Germany to find new clocks in the Black Forest. There's quite a few masters still in the Black Forest that actually make and carve clocks.
It's easy to be impressed by the craftsmanship of these clocks, but for me, they hold a special memory. I remember being a child and remembering my grandparents having a little cuckoo clock, and it was such a thing to be in the house and be in the room when the little birds came out.
Definitely. I always loved the sound of the tick of the clock. It was a comforting sound that put heart into the home, and I still enjoy it today.
From one of Montville's original gems to its newest arrival, Altitude on Montville. What day out shopping would be complete without a spot of lunch? And I'm thrilled to learn that Executive Chef Matt Galinsky is behind the restaurant's menu. I don't even know where to begin, Matt. What an
It's
incredible
exciting, isn't it?
feast for the eyes, let alone how it's going
I've
to
seen
taste.
it all before and I'm excited.
Is it a prerequisite when you put your name to something, it needs to have a cracking view like this?
Yeah, well, that's pretty good. I mean, you don't get much better view of the coast than that, do you?
Absolutely not, it's wonderful. Tell me how you came to be a part of what's happening at Altitude.
Well, the guys who were building the place actually rang me and asked me if I'd like to be involved. And literally, if you fell off the hill over there, you would end up in the farm where I grew up. So it's really a bit of a homecoming for me to be back here. And I thought it'd be a great opportunity to actually take all the knowledge I have of the area and the producers that are here to really throw it all into one menu and showcase what the coast has to offer. We've got people actually dropping off just the eggs or just the goat's cheese, or, you know, it's
So the ducks
fantastic.
from down the road?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know the fish is because I can see the ocean from here.
Yeah.
It tastes as good as it looks. Actually, probably better.
On top of the food, we've tied it all in by bringing in a local ceramicist to make special plates for us. My dad has made us special breadboards out of red cedar that was milled from a tree on this property. So all those little touches give it that extra special dining experience.
There's no doubt you'll want to extend your stay in Montville with a backdrop like this. And the good news is you don't need to travel far. Altitude on Montville has a variety of luxury rooms available. This isn't your standard minibar. The goodies are all local. Head to Altitude on Montville's website for details on accommodation and dining. It's the perfect venue for a weekend escape or big events like weddings. Clock Shop Montville is open Monday to Saturday from 9:30 till 5 p.m and Sundays from 12:30 p.m till 5 p.m. For more weekend inspiration, you can check out our New Look website. You can also keep up with our travels on Facebook and Instagram. Queensland.com and the Queensland Rail Travel websites are also worth a look. I can't think of a better way to end the day. Lunch with a view, now a room with a fire. That is all we have time for though on Queensland Weekender. I hope you've enjoyed the program. The team back with more next weekend. Bye-bye.